Cut along the guidelines and match the pieces into pairs. There are 3 body positions, 3 different pairs of legs and arms. Choose from 6 different faces. Use a mixture of 50-50 flour and sugar paste in this mould. When moulding, you would use the locking studs to clip the pieces together. If the piece of paste is too large, it does make it difficult to clip the pieces together and remove the excess paste. The sides of the mould should fit together neatly. Use a size guide to measure the correct size of paste before placing into the mould. You will need a number 9 for the body. Press the paste into the cavity and place the other piece of the mould on top. Lock together using the studs and squeeze. This time the sides of the mould sit close together. Take the top part of the mould away so that you can trim the excess paste. A plastic knife blade is used to trim around the body. Metal knives should not be used since they could cut and damage your moulds. More information on using our range can be found on our How to Use CelShapes Moulds video. Carefully work around the mould to remove as much of the excess as possible. If required, re-squeeze. Once happy that you have removed the excess, release and smooth along the sides to make sure there are no ridges. You may find it helpful to use a Dresden tool for this. Remember, too much pressure with your fingers while the paste is still soft could distort the body shape. The face is added once the body has dried. Choose your face and then fill the cavity with a small ball of paste . Cut away the excess using a fine-edged scraper. The paste tends to change colour once it dries, so be aware it may look strange to begin with when soft paste is added to dried paste. Use a little edible glue to brush the back of the face. The flat portion of the head is placed onto the moistened surface and it should lift the face from the mould. Use your fingers or a Dresden tool to merge the face onto the head. Any joints which cannot be fully merged can be covered when hair is added. Make your limbs and torso a few days in advance of dressing your figure. Dip your Dresden tool into some edible glue and mix it into a small amount of paste. Work a little in at a time until you acquire a sticky paste glue which can be used to attach the limbs to the body. Trim the top of the leg and or the base of the body if necessary so that the leg will fit neatly. Add some softened paste before pressing the leg in place and checking on the position. Once satisfied, rest the figure on some soft foam. Use an additional foam wedge to help support until the bond is quite dry. When the figure is dry, you will find it helpful to insert the feet into a piece of foam. Use a craft knife to make 2 small cuts into the foam and gently place the feet into them. This will enable you to have the figure held in a fairly upright position if you prefer when you dress it. Use one of the templates available on the CelCrafts website. Adapt them, or alternatively you could make a suitable one of your own through trial and error. Brush the body with a little edible glue and attach the bodice. Sit the curved indent to the front of the figure and wrap the paste around the body. Squeeze the paste edges together as well as pressing them onto the body so a bond is made. Pinch any excess paste at the shoulders and then trim. Smooth using your Dresden tool. If the paste is not sticking too well, remember you can add a little more of the edible glue and then press once again. Cut out several rose petals and trim the points away. Roll across the petal's surface with a cel stick to vein and thin. The larger the pin, the less fluting you will get on the petal. If further frilling at the edge is required, use the rounded end of one of the cel pins, and this will thin the paste further. Moisten the top of the skirt panel and attach to the fairy's waist. Use a Dresden tool as necessary to help press the petal into place. Let it curve outwards from the legs. Rotate the fairy body and attach the next panel, and so on. Add a little coloured paste to the fairy's head and texture with scissors, a craft knife, etc. to give a suitable hairstyle. Use a carnation cutter to cut out a scalloped circle. Remove a piece from the centre using the bottom of an icing tube. Frill the quarters of the scalloped ring with a CelShapes CS. Trim away the excess paste. Glue around the fairy's waist and attach a skirt frill around her waist. Roll out some paste finely and cut out a set of primrose petals. Cut the petals in half and frill the two pieces on a cell pad. Use the rounded end of a cell stick to press and thin the edges of the petals. Cup on the reverse side. Add a little edible glue to the top of the arm and then wrap the sleeve around it. Put some softened paste glue into the arm socket . Press and hold the arm in place. Remember to tidy up the join if required.
I'll just turn her around and back to the... Okay, tell me when to go.
Can go now.
And then just slowly turn her around. You see the wings. They're just done with the gelatine as it is. The other one,
Gelatine,
plain, yeah, the other one. Right, is that okay?
Yeah.
We've got to do a bit on the dressing yet, and we've got to do a bit on moulding.
Right, tilt her up to see if we can see any facial features. Don't know. Right, that's okay. We'll
Soak, then dissolve some gelatin in the microwave or in a cup set in a pan of water placed on a low heat ring. For coloured wings, a few drops of colouring can be added to the liquid mixture. Whilst quite hot, pour a tiny amount from the tip of a teaspoon onto a veiner. Encourage the liquid to flow into the shape of the wing that you desire. Allow to set before peeling off the veiner from the narrow end. Leave on the veiner until crisp. If the gelatin is still rubbery when removed, the wings will dry curved. If the gelatin is already crisp, the wings will remain flat. The dried wings can be trimmed with fine pointed scissors. Trim towards the pointed end. Do not trim the serrated outer edges.